been the background of my phone for, I think, since I got it. Wait, is it recording?
Oh, we should start filming. Yeah. Hey, welcome to Anatomy of an Ag. I'm Nom.
I'm Max.
And we work over at Thought Leaders, the leading service for better influencer marketing.
On a daily, more like hourly basis, we focus on all things YouTube sponsorships. At this point, it's safe to say that we live and breathe brand partnerships on YouTube. So we decided, why not share our expertise with you? Each episode, we'll break down various aspects of YouTube brand integrations and give you our thoughts and feedback, the good, the bad, and it doesn't even seem like they use this product.
Today we'll be looking at Kara and Nate's sponsorship with Surfshark. So let's quickly watch the ag integration and see what we think.
Real quick, we want to say a big thank you to Surfshark for continuing to support this channel. Whether we're driving around the US or flying around the world, we know that we're protected with the best VPN on the internet. If you've never heard of a VPN before, it stands for Virtual Private Network, and it encrypts all the information sent between our computer and the internet so that no one can steal our personal data. If you're like us and you spend a lot of time staring at screens, a VPN can be a great way to improve your digital life. Not only does it protect your online identity, but it can also be used to unlock content that isn't available in your area. It's super easy to change the virtual location of your computer and unlock a new content library. If you don't already have a VPN, we highly recommend Surfshark. We've been using it for over a year, plus it's the only VPN to offer one account for unlimited devices. We're using it on this, and this, all on one account. You can use our code Kara and Nate to get 83% off, plus 3 extra months for free, and there's a 30-day free trial, so there's no risk to try it out. To get started, just click the link in the description below.
I love Kara and Nate, so...
I know.
So this is like one of my favorite videos, and when I saw that they were sponsored by Surfshark, I also really enjoyed the actual sponsorship and integration. Mm-hmm. So what did you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. It definitely seemed pretty natural, and it's also like really relevant to them. You could see they brought up they're traveling all the time. They have all these different devices. It's like really convenient for them. Not only that, but they're going to different places, so they need to be extra safe and stuff. So it's super relevant to them. And I think they were able to communicate that well to their audience.
I agree. And I think that that's what, even though there wasn't like a seamless hook like we're used to seeing, I think the fact that they really connected it to their own personal experience and why it's so crucial for them to be using the VPN, that it made it less obvious that there wasn't a seamless hook.
But it was like really well produced too.
Right.
It wasn't just, okay, I'm sitting in front of the camera talking about Surfshark. It was footage of them traveling back and forth. I really like the shot where he's like, we use it on this one and this one and this one while he's in the airport, you know? So it's not just, oh, I got an ad to do, let me sit in front and talk to the audience. It's like, no, let me actually invest my time into making this quality so that it doesn't just seem like I'm saying talking points.
And what did you actually think about the pitch itself?
Overall, I thought it was good. I think that, VPNs are something that pretty much everyone is familiar with now. So it's not really, I thought it was interesting that he was explaining what a VPN is. Not so much, of course, it's great to explain that to your audience when you're promoting a product, but it's something that we see so many different VPNs sponsoring on YouTube that I don't know if you really needed to break it down in that way. Mm-hmm. But what I did like is saying, hey, here are the relevant things, talking about how you could watch Netflix in a different country or protect your data and your privacy and everything like that. I think those are the really good selling points and not so much virtual protection network, whatever.
I actually disagree. I think that one of the big reasons why I love Kara and Nate's content, and I think a lot of people turn to them when it comes to travel content, is because they really just bring it down to the level of from people that have never traveled before and really explaining to them the basics of even like why you want to get miles clubs and what's it really like to be traveling and the very basics to like showing you these exotic places that it's like most people have never been. Mm-hmm. So I think the fact that they broke down what a VPN is and how they use it, I think it really connects to the content that they create. Like the ad is very similar to the way that they create their content, which I think was really well done. And what did you think about the way they presented the offer?
So I don't know if this is something that, like, for the most part, it's not something that I've seen a ton, but all of the videos that we've been watching recently have arbitrary numbers for the offer off, which I think is so weird that it's 83% off, which maybe there's something about not having a number that ends in 5 or 0 that is like, ooh, this must be epic. But I don't know, I think that caught me a little off guard. Not in a bad way, but just, hey, this is interesting.
I think actually the 83, like, think about it. You remembered the 83 because it was such a unique number. Like,
Yeah.
you know, 15%, 20%, it's too easy and you forget it. But like 83, it's like, oh, I need that because 83%.
Yeah. It also sounds like they did some like serious math. They're like, okay, this is how much we can give off up to the 83%.
It's still a discount, but still get our money.
We'll still make money, but like 84%, no, 83%,
Can't
it's
do
fine.
it.
Yeah.
I really liked it that they presented the both the code and the actual offering very clearly on the screen.
I will say though that their discount code is, when you first just look at it, it's kind of like a jumbling of letters, like Kara and Nate. It's like 2 A's next to each other and it kind of looks smushed. Not that, you know, I think for their audience it makes sense. It's like, oh, I'm watching a Kara and Nate video, of course I'm just going to type that in. But for maybe someone who's watching for the first time or isn't super familiar, doesn't know them to the level that maybe you do, typing in the code could be like, what are all these letters and numbers, whatever. I really like having something super concise, super clear, maybe even just Kara or just Nate or Kara Nate.
Well, we really, really enjoyed this integration, and also I think Surfshark really enjoys working with Kara and Nate because they are such a relevant pair of creators that, you know, need the VPN, use the VPN, understand the pain points that their customers will be dealing with. And so they've sponsored over 14 times this channel, and it doesn't look like they're slowing down.
Yeah.
They are just constantly partnering up together. And I think an interesting point, again, because I watch a lot of Kara and Nate videos, in each of their integrations, they bring up different pain points. So sometimes they talk about, like they said now, that like they connects to the same device, so it's very relevant for Kara and Nate. Sometimes they talk about how they travel to many different countries, sometimes, you know, a little bit sketchier countries, and so they really want to protect all their life that's on the computers. So they always bring up new examples of why this is so crucial for them to use, and I think that that's really, really great, because if you're not a huge traveler, then you can say, oh, then this isn't relevant for me. But once they touch on another pain point that is more relevant to you, then higher chance that you'd be interested in.
And I mean, 14 times is no joke, where it's crazy that, you know, Surfshark is still seeing returns on this after 14 times of sponsoring them, which I'm sure is over the course of like a long time, but it's just really cool to see that, oh wow, this is a product that really connects to their audience so much that they can continue sponsoring them over and over, and both Kara and Nate will get the continued sponsorship and Surfshark will continue to see new customers, which is, you know, that's
win.
Perfect match, yeah.
Win-win.
Also, another thing about Surfshark is that they really sponsor a diversity of channels. I think that's the case with like a lot of VPNs, that you don't need something hyper specific because a VPN is relevant for pretty much everyone. So, you know, other channels that they've sponsored have been travel-y, but also stuff that's not at all. So we have like Mikey Chen, who that's still travel vibe, but it's also a big focus on food. Two Hearts, One Soul, Girl Outdoors, Sci-Man Dan, so even like science-y stuff. Travel Beans, Jess Owens, Mark Bone. You know, that's just a couple names, but it's not that they're, hey, we only want to sponsor travel channels. It's they really have a wide variety of content verticals and genres that they've sponsored as well. And what's great about Kara and Nate too, and the fact that they are this travel channel is, again, this lots of brands can work with them because it's super relevant. So you also have other brands like Athletic Greens, BetterHelp, The Motley Fool, Simply Save, Skillshare. All of these are very relevant to a wide variety of audience. So sponsoring something like a travel channel, which tons of different people with tons of different interests are watching, is really ideal for these types of brands.
And I think a lot of the brands that you mentioned, when it comes to VPN, it might seem straightforward, but it's not the easiest thing to seem very shiny and cool. And so I think like Simply Safe and Skillshare, like once you see that Kara and Nate can really well, seamlessly, naturally promote a VPN company.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, they could probably do the same with a company like Simply Safe and Skillshare. Like, if they can do that, they can do a lot of other things. So I think that really opens the door for other brands to say, okay, if they're sponsoring this channel, they can also do these.
Definitely. I think that's actually an amazing point that, you know, with a physical product like a HelloFresh or like a Manscaped, it's easier to promote it. You just say, look at this product. This is how it works. I'm showing it on screen.
Itself.
Right. Where with something like a VPN or something like Skillshare, which is more of a virtual product, being able to sell that takes a little bit more nuance and really being able to describe it in a way that connects with your audience. So
and to make it look so attractive.
Totally.
I was watching this, I was like, you know what?
Yeah, maybe it is time for a VPN.
I also have a few devices that I would like to connect to the States. What do you think worked the best in this integration?
I think the best part of it, and I actually mentioned it before, was the editing. I just think that it was a really well put together spot that really felt like that there was effort put into it, which their audience is also going to see, where, oh, this is part of the video because you're putting so much effort into having graphics on screen and flashing stuff and, you know, really talking to us on an eye level type thing rather than here's the product. So I really think that that's the biggest thing that worked, was just making it seem professional.
I completely agree. I think that you could really tell what like talking points the brand kind of passed along and said, these are the important things we want you to focus on, but you can really see where, in this case, Nate really focused on how it's relevant for them, what are the pain points that's relevant for them and they deal with and would also be very relevant for their viewers. They know their viewers better than anyone else. Mm-hmm. And they just really brought it home. And I also think that it was like the perfect time where it was like there was so much going on, but also not too much where you were like, what is this exactly, what is the service actually doing, but like to the point.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it. What would you say is a major point that other creators can get out of this integration?
I think the biggest thing that I saw out of this is, again, just putting in that same bit of effort that you put into all of your videos also into your integrations as well, because with a viewer who's watching, they want consistency amongst the videos. So if all of a sudden it feels like that there's a break in the content, maybe I'll skip it. Maybe I'll stop paying attention. Maybe I won't even take you seriously. But if it's in the same tone and same quality and professionalism as the rest of the video, then it really does feel like, hey, this makes tons of sense. And clearly it's working for them because they've been there 14 times. So they really understand, hey, if I make this in a certain way and present this in a certain way, my audience will react positively.
Agree. Okay, well, that wraps up this episode of Anatomy of an Ad. We really hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. Let us know if there's any ads that you've seen recently and you'd like us to break down. See you next time.
Bye.